Hey YouTube family, it's your girl Jazzy, getting jazzy with jazz. And if y'all want to have a good time, YouTube family, just like I do, come on over. And I need y'all to go ahead and do this for me, like, comment, and subscribe. And then we're going to get the party started. Good morning, YouTube. So, I'm going to briefly talk about the Shanquella Robinson story. This happened in 2022, and she was the young lady that went to Cabo with some of her friends. So the Shanquella Robinson, and we need justice for her. This happened back in 2022, and Dejanay Jackson was, charged, and she was the main person that they said was responsible, and it's evident because it's in the video. If people can't stand to watch the video, I couldn't stand to watch the video, but I watched it, and I don't like it. And don't you know that this damn girl, she changed her name? Oh, let me just say, she changed it. And then I'm like, but you changing your name, you don't change your social. So how could that ever happen? I'm like, what the fuck? And then FBI, I mean, the FBI has over 100 pages uncovered, and the autopsy in Mexico reveals something different of how she was unalive. And then, we wanted to know who owns the villa. The U.S. Detective, they wanted to know who owns the villa and whether surveillance video existed and what medical records existed when Mexican authorities announced they were looking for a suspect. And then they also said that more than 100 pages were recovered or sealed from the public's, for the public to view, like us to view. And I always said that they do have more. It's FBI. They always be 10, 50 steps ahead of the public. It's just for us to, make an assumption or whatever. And then documents show that there were interviews that were performed after Shanquella's passing, and then they placed Shanquella in the shower to sober her up. And then one person in the group was heavily distraught that they could not eat. Go figure. I wonder who that was. Lies. And then as of now, 4 of the 6 filed for the case to remain in Mexico. And I'm like, y'all want the case to stay in Mexico? Y'all sure? Because they gets down in Mexico in the prison. Everybody should know that. And then the fact is, October 2022, and she was just 25 years old. And her mama, which she should be, her mom is suing the state that they live in, and the FBI and the Cabo 6 for $100 million, and no arrest still. I said, in what fucking world, in what damn world can you kill somebody? I'm just gonna say it. I know I'm probably not supposed to be saying it. My apologies, YouTube. But can you unalive somebody and get away with it? And then early 2023, federal agents contacted Mexico authorities with 11 specific questions. And Bernard Robinson, which is her dad, still wants to know about his daughter's untimely passing. And he said, and then he just said that it's just something that they're not saying, and that they have all them folks that she said was her friends. They obviously didn't tell the truth, and everyone knows they never told the truth. And like I said, people, you have to be heartless. you have to be heartless to pick up and go on about your everyday life like did nothing happen. But my whole thing is, I know for a fact that it's hunting them, and it's definitely hunting Desjanae Jackson. She had a child of her own, and it's definitely hunting her. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because she opted to change her name, and she did change her name. I think it was Angel. She changed her name to Angel something. I'm like, oh my goodness, have mercy. I just have never seen so many heartless people. But that's why I said you just have to know that everybody don't mean you no good. And I guess it don't matter how long you have known a person or what have you. Everyone does not mean you any good. And that's why I said, if I ever go to Mexico, I'm going to make sure that I'm with family and family only. You can't trust people. That's the whole thing. You can't trust people. She was just a trusting person. But it ain't no way that I would have paid for the whole trip, because she paid for the whole trip. She paid for the room. She paid for the food. She paid for everything. And I'm like, that's how you repay somebody that, is gracious to you? That's how you repay somebody? There's two things. They were jealous, and they didn't mean her no good. And they was just down for the free. They was down for the free trip. And I said, I've never, ever, 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 ever seen anything like that in my life. But the thing is, maybe it's because I'm not that type of person, and I would never strive to do anything like that. So maybe that's why I'm taking it the way I'm taking it, because I was raised to love and respect people. I wasn't raised to harm anybody. So, YouTube, that is mine. Oh, let me go back, y'all. And they did say, now, the most important reason why I did this, they did say that Desjanae has been in custody for a minute, and she is in Mexico. Now, that's what I heard. I heard this yesterday from a YouTuber, and she specifically said that she's been in custody for a minute, and she is in Mexico. Then I've heard a bunch of different stuff. And I've heard that they wanted to extradite her from, bring her from the USA, US back to Mexico. And if that's true, then they already brought her back to Mexico, and she's in custody. And my whole thing is, again, I have watched enough 60 Days In, and, shows where people were, less fortunate and incarcerated. And they fight every single day over there. I mean, it ain't no cakewalk like it is here in the U.S. They gonna make you work. They gonna make you work. You ain't gonna be sitting down. You are going to work. And I said, The whole thing is, the police was never not working on this case. They always are working on it behind the scenes. So, with that being said, y'all, that's my spiel, my take on the Shanquella Robinson case. And YouTube, if you feel like I feel, I want you to go ahead and give me a like, and then just shoot your opinions and things that you want to talk about in the comment section. And thank you so much for listening to my short video about the Shanquella Robinson case. And just know that every time that I do see updates, I will continue to follow it. because I always was following it. I just wasn't doing YouTube, but I am going to continue to follow this case, and I never forget, and I'm not gonna never forget. And she was a beautiful 25-year-old successful graduate from college, and she just was taken too soon. Rest in peace, Shanquella Robinson. And that was my video, my YouTube family. I want y'all to do me a favor. Like, comment, and subscribe if you already haven't. And if you like my content, shoot me a like. And then also, shoot me some, a comment. And we can talk to each other in the comments. Bye, YouTube family.